In this section, we have got some of your replies to our question online when we asked, what's on your wish list for download 2022? It's not far away before we can actually start saying it's 2022. Where has this year gone? I can't believe it.
Oh, do you know what? After the last 18 months of literally just like the slowest 2 years ever, the last few months,
Yes.
the back end of this year has actually gone really quickly.
It's crazy. I don't know what's happened to us all. Because it's not like I haven't done anything. I've been doing loads. I've been constantly busy, and you're buying dogs and buying houses and getting people up the duff and all sorts. So,
no, hang on. That last bit. No,
you are, aren't
quite.
you? That's the plan, anyway.
Well, I mean,
you're getting your swimmers ready.
The whole adulting thing, that'd be the last thing to do.
Who wants to be an adult? I don't.
No, I don't. I'm not saying I'm enjoying. I'm not saying I'm enjoying it.
Who wants to pay council tax? I don't want to pay council tax, for Christ's sake. We did have some responses to our question. What are you looking forward to? Well, what's on your wish list for download 2022? What's on your wish list, Lee?
Honestly, do you know what? When we posted this, I've struggled to think about it, to be honest. Like what actually I'd really want, because I mean, a lot of the answers that we've had, or a few of the answers that we had, exactly what I would love to have as well. But yeah. I'm not going to take their answers.
No,
I think for me, it would have to be
Volbeat.
Not quite. It'd have to be
corn.
no matter. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you. No matter who the artists that are playing, I want to see something really special. Not just a gig, not just a set of songs, but something really special. Whether they bring out a special guest, or or a stage show of some sort. So I mean, stage shows will be just left the headliners or something. But it's just something that just makes you want to remember the show specifically, without having to video it and you're glued to it. Like Enda Shikari, the pilot, their light show, which I'm seeing again tomorrow, can't wait, was fantastic. And that will stick with me forever, because that was the light show was just insane.
I've never seen anything like it, actually.
No, it was bright, colourful, it was bold. It was brilliant. I used a lot of alliteration of the B words, but yeah, it was fantastic.
It was big. It was blue. It was
bold, beautiful, bright,
bombastic.
Bombastic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. If I had to be specific, I'd love to have Corey Taylor come out with Korn, and they play the track that they use him on one of the last albums, because it's a great song, to be fair.
Well, you're allowed to be specific. It is your wish list, after all.
Aye.
I think I want nice weather. I just want nice weather. Because, well, the thing is that the weather affects everybody, and it affects everyone's mood, because no one wants to go to a festival and have to put up with the pissing rain and the mud. Unless you're one of those people who actually has to go face down sliding through the mud, which I know there are some of you out there, because I've seen them.
Some people love that. They go nuts for the mud. It's insane. I couldn't think. I mean, I don't want to sound like too prudish when it comes to this sort of thing, but I mean, I can't think of anything worse than getting caked in mud.
Well, that's. I mean, that's. I don't think that's being a prude.
I'm trying to think of the right words. My thesaurus in my head isn't working very well. Like I'm trying to think of the right word.
Okay.
But,
no, I know what you mean though. I think it's fine not to want to be covered from head to toe in mud and.
But some people relish it. Some people relish it. I don't understand what the fascination of dive bombing into a mud puddle.
Oh my God! No, I know. I'm only there for the music and the atmosphere. I don't want mud. And the sunshine, it just makes everybody happy. The bands are happier. We're happier as an audience. Camping is nicer.
2018, it was a bit too hot for me. It was a bit too bright. If I'm gonna be that person, I will. If it's too hot, I'm uncomfortable.
Oh well, you can bring your duffel coat and your misery hat.
If it was sunny and I wore a duffel coat, I'd be too hot.
Yes, you would. But that's on my wish list anyway. So who knows whether Santa will bring me that for 2022. But when it comes to you and your say, we have had some messages on Facebook. Rory Horgan says that on his wish list for download 2022 is Primus.
Oh my word, that is an absolute fantastic shout.
Is that on your wish list as well?
It is now. I didn't think of that. But Primus they are such a weird, incredible band. Have you watched South Park? You watched South Park, don't you?
Not for about 20 years.
Right, one, you didn't know what you're missing. Two, the theme tune for that was originally done by Primus.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've learned something there.
And on one of their albums, Tales from the Punch Bowl, there's a song about Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Okay. Right.
It's exactly what you think it is, what the song is about, and it's really weird. I can't explain it, but Primus at download would be amazing.
Christopher Hollings on Facebook says a better lineup is on his wish list.
Oh, see, again, art is subjective. So we've all got different tastes and we're all allowed to have different tastes and opinions. And I, for one, think the lineup's absolutely fine. I don't think there's anything. I'd love to sit down with the people that don't like the lineup and just ask, obviously, what's wrong with it. I assume I'd get a lot of it's repeat artists, it doesn't excite me, blah, blah, blah. But then, like you and I do, Neil, when we were just wandering around and poke our head to a tent, you might find somebody that is your next favourite band.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm looking at the lineup and having listened to most of the bands that are on that lineup now, is the majority of the bands on there, for my personal taste, it's right up my alley. And I think there's nothing wrong with the lineup whatsoever. Don't laugh at it's right up my alley.
Sorry. Sorry, this innuendo in my head. It shall stay there.
To be fair, there has been a lack of innuendo in this podcast today, so I'll allow it.
Are you on the Instagram there?
I am indeed. So we've got Alfred __2 doesn't want to have Maiden or Megadeth clash. I totally understand that because they are two bands from the same cloth, as the phrase goes.
They're both touching cloth.
They're not touching cloth. For fuck's sake! Now that's the fucking snowballing now, isn't it? Fucking hell, Neil, Christ. Right, I understand what this person has, what Alfred __2 has said with this clash, and I agree for the people that are into both those bands, and I agree with the sentiment that I wouldn't want my two favourite bands on the lineup to have a clash, which I haven't started preparing my clash finder yet, but I do believe I may see a couple of early in the day clashes, which will be rather upsetting.
See, I don't even know how you know this, because the times are not released yet, are they?
Oh, no, people guess. So obviously the full lineup hasn't been announced, but some of the stages are rather full. And if you've looked at the previous lineups, so for example, the Doctor Who stage for the Saturday has about, at the minute, I think about 11 or 12 artists. Now, I can confidently say that stage is absolutely set. There will be no more bands added to that stage, because if there's 11 bands on it from 11 till 11 during the day or 1 till 11 on the Friday, that's there is no more artists going to be announced on that stage. And it's the same for some of the other stages on the other days. Timings very rarely change either.
Oh, really?
So again, people are just guessing that the times are stuck with the artists that are on that slot. But because there's enough bands already on the lineup, some people are making very large, almost educated guesses as to what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And once the full lineup is announced, even without the times, it would be so much easier to make the predictions.
Have we got any room for any more artists on the lineup for download?
Oh, yes. I believe we have about between 90 and 100 artists already on the lineup, and I think there's room for about maybe between 20 and 25 more.
Okay, well, that's reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah, we've still got slots on the main stage to be filled, slots on the second stage to be filled as well. So there's still room for more bands. So for the person that said they didn't like the lineup, there's still potential for this lineup to turn into from a bad lineup to a half decent one.
Fill those slots at download.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook, there is someone called Oscar Brewster, which I think is a cool name, actually. Oscar Brewster.
That is a pretty cool name.
Yeah. He says that he wants Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes for 2022.
See, I'm not sure they're going to come back.
No, I know. I agree with you.
That slot on the main stage that Frank Carter and Rattlesnakes was occupying, it's a big slot. And
Sorry.
and if they were to be announced, I think they would have already been announced.
Yeah.
But I've been wrong before.
Have you?
And I hope I am wrong, because at the pilot they were fantastic.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
They really did deserve that headlining slot at the pilot, because they were awesome.
They were so good that I would go and see them on their own at their own gig in the future.
They've got a tour coming up, I think.
I think they're doing it now, are they not?
Yes, you are right. You're absolutely right. And they've just announced their support for the Brixton gig, which includes Wargasm. As just one of the names that came up on my Instagram, which I think again is a massive deal, because Wargasm are just flying at the minute. The COVID has been good to Wargasm, I think. If I go open up another can of worms, from going from no shows to going to the pilot, to going to Slam Dunk, to going to Bloodstock, to I think even doing Reading and Leeds, all in 2021. Where is my head? Has been good to Wargasm.
Good. Any more replies on Instagram?
I have two more. The original Jack Shack UK said their wish list for is dry feet.
Oh, I'm with you there. Oh, 100%.
Which I think many of us would love, just to have just dry feet. I've seen not a repeat of 2019, 2016, just having just dry feet for the whole weekend.
Even just with, it's been quite rainy lately, and it's been a bit horrible and stormy and stuff. My work shoes have been sodden, and I'm drying them every day, but every day they get wet and sodden. It's horrible having wet feet. It's horrible. And not least because your shoes start to smell and and they have to go in the washing machine or get binned, which is something I'm sure a lot of us experienced at Download.
My work boots, I think today was the day that I realised I need new work boots, when I stood in a puddle and water came in. It hasn't happened before, and it's happened today. They need replacing.
See, it's an awful dilemma when you go to Download, because you want to take nice clothes that you look good in. You want to take nice boots that you are comfortable, and they look nice, they look decent, and they look like the kind of thing you would wear at Download. But if you take them and it gets muddy and pissy and whatever else, and they get ruined, then that's just so. It's a horrible dilemma, isn't it? What do you do?
The worst thing as well is that once you get sodden wet, and if your inside of your tent gets sodden wet, then you're not dry. You're not 100% dry for the rest of the weekend. And that can really play with, obviously, your ability to enjoy the festival.
Do you know what? The pilot comes to mind, because on that first day, when it absolutely pissed down, and I was it was absolutely soaked through, and I had long hair at the time, and it just didn't. It looked half decent, actually, before I turned up. And then when I got out of the car and it started raining, and then for the rest of the weekend, it looked awful because I couldn't do anything about it. That pissed me off. No rain, please. Dry feet. We're not asking for much. Let's put that on the wish list.
One more for the wish list from Nevermind Polly Podcast. I think we could all agree with this one. 50% off the ticket price.
Oh, yes, please. Yes. Is there a voucher code? Is it on Honey?
Yeah. I mean, Black Friday. I mean, they could have used that to their advantage to again sell maybe a cheaper ticket. Oh, I mean, I know they plugged a lot of the Christmas merch.
Yeah. Which
is cool. Some of the Christmas merch is pretty cool. But I think, having that like a limited time only price, the price of a download ticket is £150, not £250.
Oh my God, the price is going up all the time. Do you think they need to do any discounts for tickets? Because it's not like people are starting to... do you know what? I'd take that back, actually. I think people are starting to say, oh, it's getting a bit too expensive. But do you think that they're struggling to fill... Do you think they're struggling to sell tickets?
Part of my brain is saying that they're doing the old Wayne's World, where you set up the festival, people will show up.
Yeah.
to a degree, they're right. You do have your download hardcore that will go every single year, regardless of the lineup, regardless of the weather, and just be happy to just crack on. I mean, you and I have been, I've been doing that for the last 4 years. So, I mean, I can't be the only person doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's people going that have been doing it since day one.
Oh, exactly. Since download was first came on, like 2003, like the people have been doing it every single year,
and they're still wearing their wristband.
Oh God, that's gross.
I
know. Ew. But then, yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, the price of a standard general camping 5-night ticket, maybe it is getting a bit too much.
But everything's going up at the same time, isn't it? Fuel's going up and food's going up and everything's going up. So where does it stop, really?
Let's not open up that can of worms. We're a festival podcast, not a political one.
So thank you for all your replies, and that more or less wraps up episode 13. Thank you very much for your company on this December day when we're recording this. It is very cold. I hope you're somewhere tucked up and nice and warm. But if you're not, don't worry. You can always listen to the rest of our podcasts until you are. All of our podcasts are at festpod.co.uk. You can always get in touch with us, and I always say this, I would love for you to get in touch with us because we love to hear from you. We do get some nice messages saying that they people like the podcast and stuff like that, but I'm talking about you because you haven't messaged in, have you? I'm looking at you, and I know you listen to us a lot, and we're very, very, like I say, we're very friendly. We just want to talk. We just want to communicate with you.
Well, we have had one particular person or another podcast get in touch.
Oh, another one
with me personally.
Yes.
The Nevermind Polly podcast did get in touch to say that, and I quote, "Freaking love your podcast, my dude." And it's stuff like that makes it, and it sounds cheesy. It makes it sound cheesy, a bit cliche, but it does make doing this podcast worthwhile when we do get messages like that. Because, I mean, personally, I do like helping people with this sort of thing. I had a personal experience at work where a guy was saying how much he loved Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I just remembered we did a Red Hot Chili Peppers thing on the podcast before it. And I reeled off prices, I reeled off venues. And then he asked me about support. I went away, I came back, told him all the support. And he was absolutely buzzing, and he booked a ticket the day after. It's that sort of thing that is why I love doing this podcast. And having messages like this is exactly why we both love doing it.
So if we've changed your life with our advice, or if you just like listening to us, that'd be nice to hear from you as well. Even if it's just a message to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and whatever. We would love to hear from you. Just go to FestPod on the socials and look for us there. Give us a follow as well if you're going to do that, or go to festpod.co.uk, click on message and give us your verbal greeting. And if you're listening to us on some sort of podcast app, why don't you give us a 5-star review, because then it helps other people find us. So that's it, and we'll catch you next time. Bye. A Wilco Productions podcast.
Life is all about genitals.